Hi everyone, this is Jay Johnson with jart.com. Today I'm starting a new series of video blogs. I thought this might be a little bit more interesting for you guys than instead of just reading on the screen, that you could actually go with me through the adventure I take as far as seeing what pictures I take on a photo shoot from start to finish. A lot of people think when they see the art that I make that, oh, she's this wonderful photographer, she takes these great pictures. I hear that all the time. I'm not a good photographer. I do have some good equipment and I can take some good pictures, but the majority of what I take is not that great, which you'll see as you go through this little picture journey with me. And I tend to specialize in working with the ones that are more difficult and more challenging. In other words, the ones that aren't perfect straight from the camera, the ones that have too much noise, the ones that are out of focus or off center. Those are the ones I like to take and work with to see if I can turn into a piece of art. Mainly because I'll see something artistic in that picture and I'll be like, oh crap, I wish that would have turned out better. Well, it didn't turn out better to publish a straight from the camera shot anywhere, but it turned out well enough for me to take that and work with it and turn it into a piece of art. So this first video is my adventure when I ran into a green heron at our local lake. This was a couple Sundays ago. We went to the lake in the afternoon that Sunday because I had received a new teleconverter for my 300 2.8 Nikon lens. The 300 2.8 I have is the older version. It's the AFS-1. It does not have VR. And I bought a teleconverter with it, a Nikon 2x teleconverter, which when it works is fabulous. The problem is that teleconverter on that lens tends to just shut down, lock up. I'll be in the middle of shooting and all of a sudden it won't shoot. It won't focus at all. I mean, I can take a picture, but it won't focus. And I'll have to disconnect everything from the camera and reconnect everything, which is a pain in the butt. And I finally got sick of it, and I ordered a Kenko 2x teleconverter. So I got the Kenko in a couple weeks ago, and I had hurt back. So I had tried it out around the house a little bit, but really hadn't been able to take it out in the field. And that Sunday afternoon, I was so tired of being stuck in the house with this hurt back. I was feeling a little bit better, and I said, let's go to the lake. So off we went to the lake with me having this 300 2.8 very heavy lens with the 2x teleconverter by Kenko on it. I wanted to test it out for a long period of time to see if it would lock up on me like the other one, so I could determine if it was the teleconverter, the lens, or just that certain combo with the Nikon teleconverter. So off we went to the lake, and these are the pictures that I'm going to show you the pictures of my little journey around the lake and talk about them a little bit, and then I'll finish the video with showing you the ones I chose to turn into art and talk a little bit about them. So let's get to it. Right away, as soon as I got to the lake, I saw this little duck way out. I mean, way out on the other side of the lake. He was on a log, and he was just kicking along like, nothing was bothering him. He was holding his wings out. He was preening, cleaning himself. But, this is typical of the pictures I get. Nothing too exciting, nothing too perfect, just kind of representative of what was going on. And I'm watching this little duck, and I'm hoping that he'll fly toward me. And he just continued to sit there and preen and fix his feathers. And I don't know if you noticed that little thing off to the left in that previous photo, but you'll see it again right here. There's actually a butterfly in the photo flying out there around him, which I thought was kind of cool. Of course, it's too far away for me to do anything exciting with, But I thought he was cute. I may work these into an art piece later, off in the distance, in the background perhaps, because it was so far away. It's not the clearest and crispest shot you could get. But I enjoyed watching him, and this is just an example of what I saw when I first sat down. And my plan when I got to the lake was just to sit there, since I did have a hurt back, and not haul this lens around the lake, because I do handhold. I don't use a tripod. I sometimes use a monopod, but I don't like it unless I'm just sitting at home. So I'm watching Mr. Duck, and Mr. Duck takes off flying, and I was hoping he would fly right to me, and he didn't. He flew off to the side and went to the other side of the lake eventually. So here's what my exciting part. This is when the excitement started. Right after the duck flew out of the frame, and I sat there for another minute, and I saw this bird flying up to land on the rocks right in front of us. And I thought it was a killdeer at first. And then after I shot this picture and I pulled this picture up on the camera, I was like, oh, that's that little green heron I've been after. I've actually been trying to get good shots of this bird, not this particular one, but this species of bird at our lake for a while. I think I got one a couple years ago where it was up in a tree, but he was hidden behind leaves and branches and just wasn't that clear of a shot. So this little guy lands right in front of me. When I realized what he was, that's when I jumped up and went into action, because he started moving after he sat here for just a second. I shot several shots, which is what I usually do. And as you can tell, I was too close, actually, because I cut off his feet. Couldn't even get his whole body in there. Then he takes off flying to go further down the lake, so I jump up and start following him. And I found him hiding behind some rocks, and he was hunting. He was watching the water for whatever he could find to eat. And he kept his back to me for a while, and he was kind of creeping out into the water. And once again, I was too close because he was down on the other side of the rocks. And I had to actually go down on the rocks and get closer in order to see over those rocks to where he was at and try to get some shots of him. So I'm photographing him as he meanders around the lake, and I'm cutting off body parts right and left because the lens was too close. And I got some fairly good shots of him. I've already deleted all the really bad ones in this folder, so you won't see the really bad ones. Some of these are good, some of them are too soft. But I was pleased with the way this teleconverter worked with this lens. For one thing, it didn't lock up at all. It continuously worked the whole time. Now here you can see this is the shadow of the rock. I was trying to get over these rocks to be able to see him, because he was hiding down behind those rocks to avoid me and continue on with what he wanted to do. And here we go again, cutting off things that I don't need to cut off. I got this flight shot, which I thought was fantastic until I got home and looked at it, and I was like, well, it's too dark. It's too soft. I've cut off parts of his wings. I don't know what I can do with this, but I kept the shot. Here's another flight shot. Same thing. I was a little further away from him when he did the flight here, but once again, he caught me off guard because this bird, he's a small heron, and he would just jump up and fly about 3 or 4, 5, 6 feet and then just drop back down. And it was so quick. And I'm balancing with a hurt back on rocks with a heavy lens, trying to get all of this. And my angle was wrong every time, as you can tell. Finally, he got down into a spot he really liked, and he wandered around here for a while and just kind of walked through the water, around the rocks, picking at things, finding things to eat. He's a beautiful bird. He looks more bluish gray than green, but he is a green heron. I think he's a juvenile, and so his colors aren't as pronounced yet. as they will be when he gets older. But he didn't seem to be scared of me. I was able, yes, I had 600 millimeter on here, but I was able to get fairly close to him without him flying totally away. And I just kind of followed him around, and it was working my way around rocks and grass, trying to get whatever shots I could of him. He's a really neat looking little fella. And he just kept on going along, hunting for whatever he wanted to eat. Here's another flight shot that turned out terrible. I kept it just for reference. And a landing shot, once again, not a good shot. Part of the problem here was I had a lot of varying light going on at the time. The sun was out real bright, and it was shifting a lot. We had a lot of big, fluffy clouds going over, so sometimes there'd be shade, sometimes there'd be sun, just anything to make it more difficult. But he was quite fun. I was thrilled to death to get these photos of him because I've never gotten this many of this kind of bird ever. And I've really been watching for this bird. This is the only place I've ever seen this bird of the places I go. And so I was really tickled to capture these shots of him. This one here, one of these, I may do something artistic with this one. I like the pose. He was angling down on the rock looking for something. It was in the water right beneath. And he was pretty intent on it. And he started easing down the rock. And he'll just jab his beak into the water and grab whatever it is just super fast. I wasn't able to catch that. I don't think. I don't remember seeing that. I do remember seeing he has something in his mouth here in just a little bit, but it seems like when his beak hit the water, I didn't get any clear shots of that. But this is kind of the way it goes for me. I follow these birds and animals around in treacherous terrain with bad back, with heavy lens, trying to get that perfect shot. I like this pose as well. I think it looks elegant, interesting. And here's a common problem when you have a bird with a long beak that's looking right at you, gets out of focus. I could have opened things up a little bit more, but I didn't because the light conditions and I knew he was flying periodically, and I wanted to try to get that action shot. And if I could have been further back from him, I would have, but because he was beneath the level of the rocks, I had to be down there too, which put me very close. Too close. I would have been better off without the teleconverter in this case, but I was expecting to see eagle, osprey, egrets, and herons on the other side of the lake, which is where I usually see them, or out in the lake, instead of right in front of me. So I wasn't prepared for this. I could have had a second body with me, and I didn't bring one because I never see anything this close other than songbirds out there. So I had to work fast with what I had, and this all happened in everything you're seeing was in a matter of 15 to 30 minutes range. Lots of portrait shots of him. I'll probably pick one of those and do something with one of those too. Love his eye and his eye color and his intent look. And his feathers, the colors are amazing. The variation of the colors. Here he grabs something, and once again, not a clear shot, but you can see he's got something in his mouth. These are awful right here, but I was just keeping them for verification that he got something to eat. I love this one. This is a good movement shot. Probably I'll do something with these. There he is with something he's munching on that he grabbed out of the water and ate. Like I said, I didn't get the grabbing it out of the water shot. See how blue he looks? He's a green heron, but he actually looks blue. And part of that might have been the colors in the environment that his feathers were picking up. And part of it is that with him being a juvenile, I don't think his colors have totally come out like they should yet. He has a bluish, grayish cast to him. You can see a little bit of green there on the head. Here's another cutoff shot. I could probably piece a few together and make a whole bird. And I've done that before a couple times. At this point, I was getting really, really tired and really hot. It was like 100 degrees. My camera strap around my shoulder strap was really digging in. I can remember just sitting there thinking, bird, come on, make things a little easier for me, will you? But he was in no mood to make things easier for me. He was purely focused on finding things to eat. That was the last shot before I gave up on him because I was tired. And I went back to my seat, sat down, and then here came the osprey. This is what I expected to see. But he flew to the other side of the lake instead of over where we were. So I only got him at a distance. But it was fun to see him again. Then finally I spotted a killdeer. Oh, I don't think that was the last shot of the heron. I think I have some more. I think I had turned around and saw the osprey. I have no idea what this is. No, that was the last of the heron. This was on the way out. There's a couple bunny rabbits on the way out from this lake that I spot from time to time, and one of them was out. So I said, stop the car, and I jumped out, and here I go again with the big lens across the street into the grass to try to get a little closer to this guy. I adjusted my exposure. See how bright that is? And I adjusted it down to give him a little more clarity and detail. He was cute. He just kind of sat there frozen. I got really close, as you can see. Poor little guy's got a tick on his ear. Yeah, I love bunnies. I wish I'd see them more often. We used to have them in our neighborhood, and we don't anymore. So it's a delight to see these guys out at the lake. And I just kept walking as close as I could. So there's the last shot of the day. Mr. Heron, those two flight shots I showed you earlier on that I couldn't decide what to do with, but I thought they were interesting to me. This is one of them. This is Flight of the Green Heron 2. This is actually the second one I did. I kept this one in the same orientation as the picture, but I sort of moved him a little bit. He was more down here in this corner, made him a little bit bigger. And this is a cross between a photo and a painting, and using one of my textures from dailytexture.com from the Ocean and Sea collection. I thought he would look nice with some water splashing behind him, so I paired him up with that. And this is the Flight of the Green Heron 1 from the first flight shot. And this one I decided to crop into a square because I thought the pose of it just worked well as a square. And once again, this is a photo combined with some painting and combined with a texture from dailytexture.com. And both of those are available from the website here, which I'll take you through real quick like. Under Canvas Art Prints and Shorebirds. They're both here. Flight of the Green Heron 1 is available in 3 sizes, 12 by 12, 20 by 20, and 48 by 48. And then Flight of the Green Heron 2 is available in 3 sizes, 8 by 12, 16 by 24, and 36 by 24 for the larger size. And they're available at jart.com under the Canvas Art Prints. That's all I sell direct from my site are Canvas Art Prints, and usually each image has 3 or 4 sizes available And then let's see, over here under official retailers, we have shop.jart.com. This is the store that is serviced by Fine Art America for me, and they're both available in this store as well. And in this store, you have several different choices on the wall art. They have the canvas prints in a bunch of different sizes. See right there, 10 by 10 all the way up to 48 by 48. And then there's also framed prints, acrylic prints, metal prints, regular prints, and I don't know why they have posters, because posters and prints are on this site are the same thing. Under home decor, it's available on throw pillows, duvet covers, shower curtains, tote bags, towels, hand towels, bath towels, and bath sheets, which is like a large bath towel. Beach towels, and we even have round beach towels, weekender tote bags, which are really nice. Greeting cards and phone cases. And the phone cases, they show them vertical there, but they're presented the best way for the image. And I know that I've not showed this before, but since I'm doing a video, I might as well show you. Well, let's go to the second one. It'd be a little easier if I can find it. There it is, Flight of the Green Heron 2. So let's say you would like a throw pillow. Here's something really, really neat you can do on this part of my website. You notice how my mouse turned to a little different kind of cursor. You can grab the image and move it around. Like on this one, it's already fit up vertically, but you can move it horizontally. And you can also enlarge it. Let's say you want it bigger, and move it up here like this. If you want your pillow to look like that, you can do that. You can come all the way down and have it be in the center, and you can choose a background color if you wanted to. I would never make a pillow like that, but some people like that framed out look. And so it's real easy to move the image around, to adjust the image size and position it exactly the way you want. Pick the size of the product you want. And then in some, you can choose a background color if you make the image smaller than the product. I always display the image the same size as the product. But that's at shop.jart.com. And that will take you into this store, which has everything. But the main website here, jart.com, I only carry through there. I only carry the canvas art prints. And I have several different categories available. With most of these are my absolute favorites, or certain collections I've done. So you can scroll through there and pick out what you want. I would like to mention that if you are a business, you're going to order a lot at one time. I'd say like 10 canvases or more. And if you would like a discount for that, contact me and we'll get together and see what we can come up with. Excuse me. See what we can come up with for your business or your home if you want a whole bunch of prints. I can't give discounts on the single prints, but when ordering several prints, discounts are a possibility. Under official retailers, you also find a few other places other than shop.jart.com. We have Society6, art.com, all posters, different places like that. Some of them are linked, some of them are not, simply because they don't have a specific page yet. They're more business. They sell to businesses. But not all art is available in all locations, but everything is available on shop.jart.com. And then my favorites are available right from the main part of the website under the canvas prints. But I only sell the canvas prints. I'm not selling paper prints, frame prints, not dealing with that anymore. That's all handled through the Fine Art America store. So I hope that gives you a little insight into the type of pictures I end up taking, how it kind of goes for me. The next one I'm going to do is going to focus on an owl shoot from just a few nights ago after my back got better. This little adventure with the Green Heron kind of screwed that up again. So I was down again for another week and a half. But I did go back to the owls this past week, and I got some really neat shots of the owls, and I'm going to take you through those pictures and talk a little bit about that, and talk about how to shoot these crazy owls, and just show you a couple fun shots. But I thought you would like to see this little green heron. Maybe somebody'd be excited about him as I am. Like I said, I've been trying to get him for 4 years, and I was just tickled to death to get him and have some really good pictures to work with and some not so good pictures too. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great day. I hope you'll come back again. Bye-bye.